Story, the review case in the Please Call Me saga between Vodacom and Nkosana Makate resumed today. Makate wants billions of rands for his invention, but Vodacom has offered him only 47 million rand. He now wants the High Court in Pretoria to set aside this compensation amount. My colleague Heidi Giokos tracking that story for us. Heidi, good afternoon. Makate's legal team is going into finer details today about the model that Vodacom has used in determining the compensation fee. I guess that was always going to be an issue. I mean, you know, is it fair, is it not fair? And how do you get to 47 million when you've apparently made billions of rand through this Please Call Me model?
Yes, certainly. So we know that today is day 2 of this court application that's being heard before the North Gauteng High Court. And today what's happening is finer details as to the model that's being used. And what's interesting here is that Makate's team is still arguing and presenting arguments before the judge, saying that they still do not understand how Vodacom came to the figure of 47 million rand. They are trying to determine how Vodacom has decided that Makate will only benefit 20% from calls that were made within an hour after a Please Call Me was sent. Makate's team says, how is Vodacom in a position to determine that only 20% will be given from the calls made within an hour? And also given the fact that Vodacom is not being honest or transparent with regards to how many calls were made from prepaid contracts to normal contracts to in-bundle and unbundle. So it becomes a little complicated, and this is what Vodacom is, of course, trying to present in previous documents to say this is how we came to 47 million rand. But Makate's team is saying this is not justifiable. We still do not understand how you've come to 47 million rand when they are coming to figures within the billions. Yeah,
and what's also interesting, Heidi, is the fact that Vodacom in pre-listing statements and financial statements is showing profits that were made from Please Call Me. And those numbers are different numbers.
Exactly, and you cannot lie in pre-listing statements or in financial statements. You need to account
as a listed entity.
As a listed entity. And this is exactly what Makate's legal team is saying, is that this giant network provider is admitting in financial statements way back in 2009, even before that, that the Please Call Me model is extremely beneficial. But they still cannot quantify. And what Makate's legal team is saying is, how do you, as a giant network provider, you list this in your pre-listing statements, in your financial statements, but you do not want to pay the inventor the amounts that you know is there and the profits and gains from this model. But let's listen to one of the legal representatives in court today.
Pre-listing statement, we know that Vodacom lists PCM amongst its products that it offers, and there are only a few that are touted in the pre-listing statement. There's no doubt that PCM is one of Vodacom's leading products. After all, you don't put the product in your pre-listing statement, which is there to inform the public and potential shareholders what your business is about. Now, imagine a potential shareholder phoning the sponsoring broker and saying, I'm interested in this share, but this PCM, I'm aware of it, and it seems to be generating millions of calls, let's not quantify them, a day. What sort of revenue is being earned from PCM for Vodacom? The pre-listing is 2009. Can you imagine the broker saying, I'm sorry, my client cannot quantify it? Now, lady, if you can't quantify what your revenue is, how do you know you're running at a profit? I mean, it's as simple as that. You may be running at a loss. It's inconceivable. It is absolutely inconceivable that an organization like Vodacom doesn't know how much money they're making.
Makate's legal counsel, they're making their arguments in that ongoing Please Call Me saga. This afternoon, of course, that court case will continue.